Today we're going to work on a song that will help you master your beginner chords. That song is Hey Joe, as played by Jimi Hendrix. It has all of the most important beginner chords in one very satisfying sequence. Learning these chords in context is going to help them stick more, and this song is perfect for the task. At the end of the video, we're also going to learn the classic riff from this song, so be sure to stick around until the end. I want to remind you that all the materials from today's lesson will be available on my website, link in the description, so be sure to open that up right now for later when it's time to practice. I wanted to let you know earlier on in the video that I have made a practice guide for this song, so if you want to download that, there's a link in the description. So if you're tuned up and ready to go, let's get started. First, let's learn the chords. If you already know these, I've added chapters in the video description so you can click around to a part that you're not already familiar with. For the first chord, it's a C chord. We're going to put our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Strum all 4 strings. Turn my tuner off. For the G chord, to play a G chord, you need to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string right here, and the pointer finger right here on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So if this is a lot of numbers, you can pause the video, look at the chord chart that I have up on the screen, and you should be able to figure out this chord pretty quickly. Alright, so transitioning from C to G, not too bad. Alright, we move our middle finger to the left 1 fret, and we get all these other fingers down on their respective frets right here. As with each of these transitions, you're going to want to work on each one until they feel, basically fluent. So now let's check out a G chord. This chord is a little bit tricky. There's a lot of ways to play it, and the one you'll choose will depend on the context. For this song, I think that getting each of these 3 fingers onto these 3 frets is going to be our best bet. So we'll be putting our pointer on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, our middle finger, see how we're going all right in a row down each finger, our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and our ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. 1, 2, 3, each finger on these strings, 4, 3, 2, all on the 2nd fret. Okay? If you want to pause the video and look at the chord chart and sort of puzzle that one out, go ahead and do that. After the D chord, we have, mercifully, a chord with only 2 fingers in it. It's going to be an A. An A chord we play like this. We put our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and our pointer finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. So transitioning here from D to A, these fingers are going to switch strings, okay? The middle finger is going to come up 1 string towards the ceiling, and the pointer finger is going to move 1 string down towards the floor and 1 fret over to the left. Really knowing and understanding how each finger moves from one chord to another is really, really essential when you're switching chords. It just cuts down on a lot of processing time if you're comparing one thing to another rather than just, they're just 2 random shapes. So anyway, after this A chord, we're going to go to the last chord of the sequence. Okay, we're going to put our pointer finger on the 1st fret right here, our middle finger right here on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, open 2nd string, and then ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. See, it's almost like we flip this little shape. So instead of 2, 1 right here, this finger comes up towards the ceiling, and now it's 1, 2, right? 2, 1, 1, 2. So this way, it's almost like a diagonal line going that way, and then here, it's a diagonal line going this way. Try to think of shapes on the ukulele. It's very, very, very handy to be able to do that. Okay, so to switch between those chords, you have an A right here. So this finger comes up toward the ceiling. Essentially, these switch spots. 1st fret, 3rd string right here. 1st fret, 4th string right here, and this one switches down onto the 3rd string. Then we get our ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So you could practice all those chords in isolation. C, G, D, A, E. And to me that already sounds like Hey Joe. Even though it's a little bit slower, there's no rhythm to it really quite yet, but those chords very distinctly sound like Hey Joe. As far as the strumming pattern goes for this song, we're going to start with something simpler and then build it up to something a little bit more complex. So we're going to start, for instance, with a half note strumming pattern, then a quarter note strumming pattern, then an eighth note strumming pattern, and then move on to something that has a little bit of flair to it. If you're not sure what those terms mean, I'm going to be explaining them as we go along. Let's start with the half note strumming pattern. A half note is a note that lasts for 2 beats. So that means that we're going to be holding each chord for 2 counts. And since we're in 4/4, that means we're counting 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means that one chord is going to get 2 beats, 1, 2, and the second chord is going to get the remaining beats of the measure, 3, 4. So let's maybe look at that in context with like a C to a G. So that would be something like this. 1, 2, hold, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that longer, holding the chord for longer gives you more time to switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to show you that slowly with the whole chord progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And C, right? This repeats again and again, so if you can, you want to practice it in sort of a loop. Next, we're going to try a quarter note strum. It's called a quarter note strum because each beat, because there are 4, is 1/4 of the measure, okay? So quarter note, 1/4, it's just like fractions class. So we can look at C to G again, all right? Now instead of going 1 and then holding for 2, and then 3 and holding for 4, we're going to play on both beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see last time where I would hold it, 1, 2, 3, 4. On those beats where I was holding before, now I've got a strum, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that with the whole chord progression, something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 2, 3, 4. And C. 2, 3, 4. And so on. So when we're strumming faster, we have to hold the left-hand chord for a little bit longer. Seems a little bit counterintuitive, right? But we actually have less time to switch than we did when we were playing a half note strum. That's why we're kind of moving the right hand a little bit faster, kind of to force us to switch these chords a little bit quicker. Let's try one more strum, an eighth note strum. So an eighth, half of a quarter, okay? That means there's going to be 8 of them in a measure of 4 beats, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 will become 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for each of those beats that I just said, the pick is going to move down through the strings. So why don't we try a little bit with the progression? I'll show you. It'll be something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you're not used to counting eighth notes, it can take a little while to get accustomed to it. So you might want to just practice counting eighth notes without playing and then add it in later when you feel more comfortable. So like I said, we are going to try a slightly fancier strumming pattern. In case you feel like you've mastered the other 3 and you want to bring it to the next level, you can try it like this. So we're going to add kind of a mix of eighth notes and then a little up strum in there. We're not going to talk about exactly what subdivision the up strum is because I think it will only complicate things, but let me just show you how it'll go. So we can go 1 and 2 and up. And what I did there was I went down, 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 up. Let's try that in context with the whole progression. So that will go something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. Or down, 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 up, down, 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 and so on. Do that as slowly as you need to really feel like you're getting the feel of it. Down, 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 up, down, okay? Slow that way down if that's what you need. So maybe about halfway through the song, they stop playing the chords and they start playing a riff that the whole band is going to play. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to break it down into little tiny chunks. The whole riff in context is going to go like this. So for the first chunk, we're going to put our third finger on the third fret right here. Right, 1, 2, 3, that's the third finger. And then play the open second string. Right. After that open second string, we'll walk the fingers up the frets. We'll go open, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So third fret on the first string, open, 1, 2, 3. Nice. That's your first chunk. Go, if you want, you can pause the video and just kind of get used to playing that. Now, second chunk, probably the easiest of the three. We're going to play our pointer finger on the second fret right here on the first string, and just walk up the fingers to the 5th fret. Second fret with the first finger, middle finger right after it. Right? Each finger is going to get its own fret. Okay? Now, the thing that makes this so easy is that we're just going to play the exact same figure on the second string. So the only challenge there is going to be getting your right hand to the correct string. Okay? 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5 on the second string. That's chunk 1 and chunk 2 taken care of. Now, for chunk 3, we have to scoot the whole apparatus, right? Our entire left hand, scoot that over so your pointer finger is on the 4th fret. You know, if your ukulele has dots, it'll be below this one right here on the 4th fret. And we're going to do that same little chromatic figure, that same little walk-up figure. Like that. 4, 5, 6, 7. Going up 1 fret at a time. That's the last chunk. So here, we have the first chunk. Alright. Second chunk, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second string. Alright. And then, same little figure starting on the 4th fret. And the reason I'm showing you this today along with the chords, it's because it's really going to help you out with your left hand dexterity. It's going to help you out with playing a little bit on those higher frets. A lot of times we kind of stay trapped down in this zone, and this is going to sort of force the hand up to here. It's also good practice to learn to cleanly play single note runs like that. It's a very handy skill, especially if you ever want to branch out beyond playing just chords and maybe play some arpeggios, some other riffs, simple melodies, stuff like that. Now I think we should try a short play along so you can practice along with me. We'll do 4 chord sections and then we'll try the riff 4 times as well. I'm not going to sing it today to avoid copyright issues, but I will cue you for when the sections change, okay? Try maybe a little bit slower than the normal speed and see how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 down. Stay on E. Here comes that C. 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. So for the strumming section, you don't have to do the down, 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 up right away. You could start with the half note strum. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just, use my strumming to help you keep time. And then as you start to feel more comfortable, you can add the quicker strum. 1, 2, a strum on every beat, and then down, 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 1 and 2 and the eighth notes, and then you can end up with me on that fancier kind of strum. That brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you find this helpful. It's more of a beginner lesson. It sort of assumes that you're coming to the ukulele knowing, maybe just the very, very basics, and I'm trying to walk you through the chords and the transitions and maybe a little fun riff at the end. Remember, the best thing you can do when you're learning the ukulele is just to cover a lot of ground, learn a lot of simple songs, and just sort of get a feel for what it's going to be like to play. You don't have to master every little thing you set out to learn. It's almost better when you're starting out to just sample little things. So today what I gave you was a sample of a song. There's probably a lot more to this song that we could do, but it's perfect for if you're starting out. If you found today's video helpful, please like and subscribe. I'm always accepting requests for songs to cover, so if you have any ideas, feel free to let me know in the comments. Until next time, happy practicing.